This is the Ms.FitVegan podcast, episode 289, I think. To break your food addiction, you must be willing to walk by faith. So now let's just talk about anything, because you might not have a food addiction. To lose weight, to clear your skin, to get that promotion, to save that money, to buy that car, to get your driver's license, to get the investment, to get the scholarship, to have 1 million followers on YouTube, to make a full-time living as a health coach or a YouTuber, or to own your own restaurant, or whatever your dream is, whatever you're dealing with, whatever addiction you're trying to break, you gotta be willing to walk by faith of the things unseen. See, every single person, every single success story, every single goal that's been achieved, well, it happened by faith, not by sight. See, faith plus hard work equals results. You're not going to be able to break your food addiction, my boo, unless you believe it's possible for you. Do you believe something is impossible? Then it is 100% impossible. And that was me, and that's crazy. Let me just hold on. Let me get comfortable in my nook. Yeah, I know the sound got a little bit better. I know. I'm in this watermelon nook that I got, and it's a dream come true for me. Okay, things are falling. It's a dream come true for me to have just a room of watermelon stuff. And the dream is to have a house one day, and I will have it. Oh, yes. Okay, so now, how do we stay positive, optimistic, and in faith when we do not have proof? Because you see, the thing is that it feels a lot easier when you have proof. So like when you start losing weight, like when you start seeing changes in your body, whoa, you're like, oh my God, this is working. But then sometimes what happens is you're like, I don't need to work out every day. And then you stop seeing those results. Okay, so it stops working. So how do you stick to, let's just start from the beginning though. How do you stick to something, a new habit? How do you keep saving money? How do you keep making YouTube videos? How do you keep designing these thumbnails? How do you keep going live? How do you keep making podcasts when you have only 2 people listening? Well, I got over 8,000 right now, but that's just me. That was 2 people were listening in July. Okay. Well, you realize that it's possible for you. And maybe you need to start doing affirmations saying, it's possible for me. You gotta start believing in the totality of possibilities. If one human can do something, so can another. And so I'm also struggling with this in many areas of my life, okay? I'm still struggling with this. For example, it's been a dream of mine to write a book. Now, I've written books. I've written 5 books. I'm working on my 6th. Okay, one of my books turned into a course, but y'all don't need to know about that. Anyway, the point is, I've always wanted to self-publish my book, a book. And it's been a big dream of mine, but it feels like I haven't written anything worth publishing yet. So that's why I'm working on my 6th book. And I'm telling myself that it's possible. It's possible. It's going to be an amazing book, and I'm going to publish it because all my other books are ebooks right now. And it's very easy to self-publish. If one person can do it, another person can do it. It just takes a few dollars. You don't need to be rich, okay? And you publish your book, and Amazon prints them on demand. It's like anybody can write and publish a book now. So why haven't I done it? Because I have this false belief that my books are not good enough yet. It's a deep belief. And I said the same thing about YouTube. I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good on camera, so I can't do a YouTube. So I waited and I waited and I waited, like literally like 7 years. Okay. Same thing with a podcast. I was like, I don't want to do a podcast. I did it with my friend a long time ago and it was great, but it was great because he was in it, and like, I don't want to do it by myself. Okay. And then I finally was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it by myself because I don't know anybody else that wants to do it. Fuck it. Okay. Same with everything. Everything. I don't want to do anything by myself. I hate doing things by myself. But sometimes you got to do it by yourself. Actually, 99.999% of the time, you got to do it by yourself. Guys, I have tried so many times to have business partners with my fruit company. And every single time I chose people that didn't care about fruit. And it's like, at one point do you learn? What does this have to do with faith? Hold on. I just went off onto a tangent because like I feel like this is my spoken diary sometimes. So I just be speaking and then I don't know what I'm speaking about anymore. But let me just finish that. Okay. So since 2020, I've had so many business partners when they should have been assistants or employees. But me, I'm the type of person that thrives working with someone else. I hate working alone. But as an entrepreneur, I'm going to tell you right now, you got to learn how to work alone, how to do your podcast alone, how to write your book alone. You got to, because nobody's going to save you. And yes, you can pay people to help you, ghostwrite for you. You can pay people to edit for you. You can pay people to design, graphic design for you. You can pay people. But you got to start the process on your own. You got to take the first step and you got to walk by faith. That's what the podcast is about. How do we cultivate an attitude of faith? Well, write down all the things that you thought were impossible for you at one point in your life or another. See, I'm sitting in my nook and I'm looking at the ocean, and it's crazy because in my entire life that I never thought in a million trillion years, I knew that I was not meant for the cold and I hated the cold, but I never thought that I could move to the tropics and specifically move to the beach. I didn't think this was ever going to happen for me, ever. And I was okay with it because I chose my life. You know, you gotta understand that you are choosing your life, whether you want to or not. You know, if you don't make a decision, the universe makes it for you. So you have chosen, whether you've consciously or not consciously. And I chose to stay in New York because I wanted to take care of my sister my whole life. I never thought she was going to die. She was super strong. She was super resilient. She's like the strongest person on earth. She went through so many surgeries. She was in the ICU 4 or 5 times. She survived being poisoned with penicillin. She's allergic to penicillin. She survived strokes. She survived tracheotomies, a brain tumor. She had a throat cancer. She had so many issues. They were going to amputate her leg. She was paralyzed on her left side. She went blind in her left eye. Like, y'all don't even know how many things she actually suffered from and then still came out and like unscathed. You know what I mean? Like, she still was surviving. She was in good health, as good as it could be. And when she passed away, she was not in the hospital. She had no technical medical problems, even though, you know, she was having seizures when she ate animal products and things like that. But she wasn't in the ICU when she died. And when she died in 2019, I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it because I did not know what I was going to do with my life and I still don't know. And I know it's been 3 years, but like, I still don't know because my life path, my life purpose was to take care of her. And without that, like, I don't know And there was no end. It's not like she was a child. When you have a kid, you're like, okay, for the next 18 years, I'm going to take care of my kid. I'm going to be the best parent possible. I'm going to raise this kid. I'm going to give this kid everything. I'm going to make sure he or she has an amazing life and learns everything and is a respectable human being and grows up to be an upstanding member of society. Like, I didn't have that timeline because my sister she was 35, when she passed, and there was no end when you're disabled. You always take care of someone who's disabled. So I never in a million years imagined that I would move out of New York. I couldn't move her. All of her doctors and all the hospitals and everything was in New York. Well, basically, I have to go. I have a phone call. Somebody just texted me. But I just want you to know that if you can somehow convince yourself and reprogram yourself to think that it's possible, it's going to happen. Because your mind has to get on board first, before your body, before your habits, before anything else. Your mind has to believe it. Please start doing affirmations. Start doing, go to YouTube and type in Totality of Possibilities by Louise Hay, or Hypnosis for Believing in the Impossible, or, do tapping type in Brad Yates Possible, okay? And try to find what works for you and do it every day until you actually start to believe that it's possible. And by the way, your actions are going to come before the belief. This is a trick that I learned from Andy Frisella. I'll never forget it. If you don't believe in something, if you don't believe something's possible, it's probably most likely because you're not taking action towards it. When you start taking the action every day, you work out every day, you start to believe that it's possible that you're going to lose weight, and then you lose the weight. The action comes before the belief. I have to go now, but the last example I'll give is that I was always called like bossy or like Miss Bossy, people used to call me, or bossy pants at all my jobs until I became the boss. Then they got nothing to say. Then they all say nothing. Because all my jobs, I always just acted like the boss. Not the day I started, but probably the next day. Because, I just be running circles around people. So, I can't help it. Do you feel me? Any Aries out there? You feel me? I can't help it. I can't. And us women, we just we be running circles around people. So anyway, okay, that's all. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. And if you're interested in joining my food addiction course, we do have 2 spots left still. So send me an email, jd@Ms.FitVegan.com, with the words I am ready, and I'll send you all the details on exactly what I'm going to teach you, what we're going to do, the exercises we'll do, and if it might be a fit for you, I'll send you the application, and we'll see if you might want to join. We start next Wednesday, February 1st, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Bye.